Hello. 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 Hello, 1, try, 2, 1. 2. Hello. 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 1, try 2. 1, try 1, try 1, try 1, 2. Hello. It's okay. 1, try 1, try 2. Hello. 1, try 1, try sound, try 2. 1.
The Regional Institute for Population Studies is mainly to train students, graduate students in population studies. And population studies is a scientific study of human populations. And this deals mainly with the studies in population size and composition, fertility, mortality, marriage, and family mobility, aging, everything about human beings.
The Regional Institute for Population Studies, located within the College of Humanities, the University of Ghana, was established in 1972. The mandate is to train people in population studies. You know, population studies is at the center of everything we do. So we are linking population to health, we are linking population to the economy, we are linking population to the environment. So there are interesting things that one can do here.
So at RIPS, we run 3 main programs: the Master of Arts in Population Studies, Master of Philosophy in Population Studies, and PhD in Population Studies.
We train people from all over the world with diverse backgrounds to become population scientists.
I've traveled extensively around the world, and I do meet graduates from RIPS who are working in the United Nations, for example. They are working for the World Health Organization. They are working in statistical offices in their countries. For example, the government statistician in South Africa was trained here at RIPS.
Ghana has an open acreage offshore of about 23,000 square kilometers in the Gulf of Guinea, with a coastline covering 550 kilometers stretching from Aflao in the east to Elubu in the west. 25% of Ghana's population lives on the coastline, making this ecological zone critical to the country's development. Also located along Ghana's coastline are a number of lagoons, estuaries and mangroves important for fish spawning and roosting for local and migrant birds. These are now being depleted by sea erosion on a large scale. If the erosion affects the Volta estuary and other water bodies, the damage can extend into Ghana's interior regions. The Delta's Vulnerability and Climate Change, Migration and Adaptation DECMA project has been implemented in Ghana and has made remarkable impact. The The project was implemented by the Regional Institute for Population Studies, University of Ghana, with focus on the Volta Delta, Keta Lagoon Complex and Songo Lagoon, and several communities within 9 administrative districts in Ghana.
The DECMA project is an interesting project. It's a project that I call a multidisciplinary project, bringing people with different research backgrounds, people with different capacities coming together to achieve a common goal.
The project explored migration as a climate change adaptation option for households and communities within the Delta's catchments. These areas possess significant ecological assets that are now being depleted. The erosion threatens marine life, fisheries, and other coastal industries with devastating impact on the economy and livelihoods.
DECMA project is looking at deltas. We're looking at the common issues that are prevailing in African deltas and then Asia deltas.
In order to ensure uniformity during project implementation, the project was grouped under work packages and adopted common methodology.
The entire DECMA project is looking at 7 main objectives. We adopted a common methodology, looking at common objectives and see whether we can address these objectives within the various deltas.
As project managers, we manage the communication of work packages, manage the communication among team members, and ensure that what was being done in each country was also replicated in all the countries. And so the findings were effectively harmonized through communication. We communicated at the management level, at the work package level, and also at the team level.
The team analyzed the impacts of climate change and associated vulnerabilities in the Volta Delta with the aim to adopt and use rigorous, evidence-based, gender-based, and participatory research approaches to explore climate vulnerabilities and adaptation options for vulnerable populations in the Volta Delta. Dr. Muniabu shares key insights into the vulnerability level of the people living within the project areas and paint a precarious picture of the situation.
We were interested in looking at floods, we were interested in looking at drought, we were interested in looking at salinity. And then there are issues that has to also do with erosion. And in other areas people talk of storm surges. We don't have much of storm surges within our terrain. But what is more common is the floods, the droughts, the salinity, and then the erosion. What makes the Volta Delta more vulnerable has to do with the multiplicity of these hazards. So it's not like they are just faced with salinity, but they are faced with multiples. And also the soil nature within that particular area even makes it very difficult for them to even engage themselves in agricultural activities.
An essential necessity for the DECMA project was to influence policy at all levels. Honorable Clement Humado, Member of Parliament for the Ahor constituency and the chair of the DECMA advisory group, brought dedication, passion and wisdom that spurred the project.
I was invited as a member and subsequently made a chair of the expert advisory group. I thought it was an opportunity for me to gain more insight into the effects of climate change in my area, and also to position me to benefit from the research outcomes, and that can feed into planning, development planning of my area.
Dr. Muniabu further underscores the in-depth research that underpins the project to scientifically understand the migration issues within the project areas.
We had to gather some kind of data within the Volta Delta to scientifically understand what the migration issues are within this Volta Delta, and also to understand why people or population will still continue to live in probably environments where environmental thresholds might be considered as probably something that has been exceeded. If you look at environments that probably are very vulnerable in terms of its relation to these environmental hazards, then all things being equal, people should be moving out of those kind of environments. But if you look at the Volta Delta, even though we say it's vulnerable, it also presents some kind of opportunities. So the sea, you have the ocean over there, you have all the lagoon. So in terms of fishing activities, these are things that probably will be booming in this particular area. They equally have some kind of land also for agricultural activities. So the expectation is that people will be attracted to these areas. But that hasn't been the issue. Because of the high levels of vulnerability within this area, there was that inclination for people to migrate. So in terms of even intention of people to migrate from the Volta Delta, we have close to over 40% of our sample indicating that in the future they intend to migrate. And there has also been a high out migration already that has happened within the Volta Delta. And among our sample, those that we found, the households that we observed that had some kind of migrants within them, were households that had experienced some of these migrations just within the last 5 years. We have close to over 53% of them having experienced these migrations in recent times, also telling us that the migration that is taking place within the Volta Delta is a kind of a continuum. People will continue to migrate because the inclination is equally there for the people to continue to have that zeal to migrate. And they also see migration as something positive, because those who migrate and they return home, they see some kind of improvement in their life. So everybody is yearning to migrate. And we also observe that in terms of even female headships, as a result of this kind of migration nature within the Volta Delta, there has been an increasing level of female household heads within the Volta Delta, if you want to compare that even to the national average. We've observed that there has been some kind of interventions within the Volta Delta. So you can talk of the sea defense walls, but that hasn't been able to attract people much into the area. So you still have that high rate of out migration in that particular area.
It was an all-encompassing methodology to the project. Dr. Momoniabu speaks candidly about the participatory approach.
We use a number of approaches in terms of our research. We have what we call the participatory approach. So as much as possible, we involve the district assembly, who more or less were our key stakeholders. We also have representatives from the community who were part of the project. So right from thinking through the survey methodology and survey work, or the field survey, we involved the community. And we also made sure that gender was highly represented in terms of looking at the male-female relationship.
Through stakeholder engagement, the project works with various groups and individuals to ensure the objectives are attained.
We engage with people at the district level, community members, assembly women, assemblymen, community members who we could get that could come into our sessions. At the national level, we worked also with the ministries, departments and agencies, some NGOs, some civil society groups too. And basically all these were people who were supposed to have some interest in climate change impacts, vulnerabilities, issues on migration, issues on adaptation, and issues that affect the study areas. The reason why we focus on stakeholders is because they are very key to the successful implementation of the project. So we had to get them involved from the very beginning.
The stakeholder support has been phenomenal, with the research findings informing the issues discussed both at the local and national levels.
We had a study that looked at barriers to policy implementation at the local level, at the national level. We had another session that looked at governance analysis, which policies we had in place that were promoting migration or either hindering them.
Throughout the stakeholder engagement, innovative approaches were deployed by the project to drive home the issues.
We applied the drama component to it. So it's not every time that we got someone to come and give us introduction and the rest. We actually played out the objectives of the workshop by getting people to perform in a skit
to show and interestingly get the people involved in, or to get them to look forward to what we actually had for them.
In all these instances, the project objectives were successfully met with several unintended benefits.
One of the clear things we set out to look at was whether people were migrating out of these areas as a result of the conditions that they had.
When we were doing this project, there were a lot of interesting things that came up. And I must say, although they were not part of the project, they helped, push the project forward.
There was this sea flooding that was experiencing in the area. These were captured very clearly by our drone footages. And we showed it outside the country, and it attracted a lot of attention, media attention from all over the world.
One significant achievement of this project is the successful adoption of its outcomes and recommendations by the Parliament of Ghana into the Coastal Development Authority Bill 2017, which among others seeks to establish an authority to provide a framework for accelerated economic and social development in Ghana's coastal regions.
When the idea of Coastal Development Authority came, we embraced it conceptually because we believe that it could take care of the issues of the coastal areas in eastern Ghana, that is the Volta Delta.
We saw clear evidence of the fact that there has been a lot of migration from those parts of the country to the Accra Tema area, and particularly the Ashamai area, where we found some of these migrants.
From this project, we defined the Volta Delta as area below the 5-meter contour. The idea is that the 5-meter contour is the area we anticipate that with increasing changes in the climatic conditions, these are the areas that are highly vulnerable and will be highly impacted.
We've established a relationship with all the districts now. They can call us for, rely on us for any information related to climate change that we have found in their area. We have also exposed them to climate change budgeting. We have had some trainings for them, and we think through that many of them have improved or broadened their knowledge on climate change impact.
Though the project met its objectives, there were some notable challenges.
Anytime you work with community members, there is always maybe the idea that so what will you do for them in the end? And they sometimes expect these things to come immediately.
If you look carefully, you realize that the economic issues are being driven by climate, or by environmental issues.
There are communities where people believe, yes, they want to be resettled, but they want to be resettled in such a way that they can still hold on to their status. They want to hold on to their ancestral kind of lineage. They have certain attachments that they don't want to lose. So if I am a chief in community A, and you think community A is so vulnerable, so you want to resettle me in community B, the first thing that comes to mind is, when we move to community B, will I still be a chief?
What is to be done to sustain the gains made is a question on everyone's lips. The recommendations are far-reaching.
If we don't move in with some kind of interventions within the Volta Delta, what will happen is that, yes, it will continue to be a place of out-migration. People will continue to move out of that particular.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and special guest for today's function, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, and host, Professor Nanaba Apia Amfo, the Chair for today's function, and former RIPS and RIPS alumna, Dr. Grace Bediako, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good afternoon and welcome to the 50th anniversary launch of the Regional Institute for Population Studies, University of Ghana. I am Dr. Rafalewa, your Master of Ceremonies for today. We will begin today's proceedings with a prayer. I will now invite Reverend Daniel Yoenchi Labi of the Ghana Baptist Convention to share a word of prayer with us.
Shall we please be on our feet? And we pray together. Heavenly Father, our gathering here has become possible because of your goodness and mercies. For this we thank you. For the gift of life, we thank you. For the gift of health, we thank you. For the gift of hope, we thank you. For the freedoms we enjoy in Ghana, we thank you. For today's beautiful weather, we thank you. For institutions like RIPS, which have contributed immensely to the development of our dear country Ghana, we thank you. For this 50th anniversary launch, we ask for your presence and help for a successful launch. Help everyone on program. Bless this gathering and bless our homeland Ghana. In our Lord Jesus' name, amen. Please resume your sitting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Yoenchi Labi of the Ghana Baptist Convention. Before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of a few of our dignitaries. And I'll start off with those on their days. So we have in our midst the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana and the special guest of honor for today, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We also have the Vice Chancellor, the first female Vice Chancellor of the Premier University, University of Ghana, in our midst, and she happens to be the host, Professor Nanaba Apia Amfo. We also have another important person in our midst. She's the former government statistician and the chair of the 50th Anniversary Planning Committee. She is an alumna of the Regional Institute for Population Studies, Dr. Grace Bediako. Thank you for your presence. I would also like to acknowledge the Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Pro-Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Development, Professor Felix Ankoma Asante. We have the Provost, College of Humanities, Professor Dan Ofori. Provost, College of Basic and Applied Sciences, Professor Boatin Onwa Ajiman. We also have the Acting Provost, College of Education, Professor Martin Otin Abebiu. Prof. Thank you for coming. And then the Registrar of the University of Ghana, Mrs. Emilia Ajay Mensah. She's also here with us. Please let's acknowledge their presence. We also have a very important personality in our midst, the former Statistician General of the Republic of South Africa, Dr. Pali Lehohla. Thank you for coming all the way from South Africa. Thank you for gracing today's occasion. We also have the Presidential Advisor on the Sustainable Development Goals, Dr. Eugene Owusu. And then we have the Director General, Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaje, who is also here in our midst. Doc, thank you for coming. The Executive Director, National Population Council, Dr. Letitia Apia. Okay, thank you, Dr. Apia, for coming. The United Nations Populations Fund country representative, Mr. Ni Ojoelakwe, is also here with us. Then we have the Koika country representative, Mr. Mohun Kon. Thank you, Mr. Kon, for gracing today's occasion. Then we have the policy officer, delegation of the European Union to Ghana, Mr. Hansen Jep. And then we have the German Academic Exchange Service representative, that's the DAAD, for those who are familiar with it, Mr. Felix Barnes. Thank you, Mr. Barnes, for joining us. And then we have the Deputy Government Statistician, Dr. Faustina Frimpong Engwa. She's also here with us. So I'll end here, but as we go into proceedings, I would acknowledge our guests. So for such an occasion, it is important to have a chairperson to oversee to its success. I'll now call on Dr. Fidelia Dake, who is a faculty member and an alumna of RIPS, to introduce the chairperson. Please, let's welcome her.
Your Excellency, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Abba Apia Amfo, Vice Chancellor, University of Ghana, Dr. Pali Lehola, former Statistician General of the Republic of South Africa, Pro-Vice Chancellors, Provosts, Directors, Deans, Heads of Department, Faculty and staff of the University of Ghana, Development Partners, religious leaders and members of the clergy, the former directors, the acting director, faculty, staff, students and alumni of RIPS, members of the press, special invited guests and dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our chairperson for the launch of the 50th anniversary of the Regional Institute for Population Studies. Our chairperson for today's occasion holds a Doctor of Philosophy degree in demography from the University of Pennsylvania. She earned her first degree in economics and statistics from the University of Ghana in 1977. She also obtained a postgraduate diploma in population studies from the Regional Institute for Population Studies in 1981 and a postgraduate certificate in survey sampling from the University of Michigan in 1982. She completed her secondary school education at Achimota School. She has had an illustrious career spanning nearly 4 decades. She has served in various capacities in key institutions, both in Ghana and internationally. She was the chief of the Demographic Statistics section of the United Nations Statistics Division from the year 2000 to 2004. She was later appointed as the government statistician and head of Ghana Statistical Service from June 2004 to June 2012. She also served as acting Director General of the National Development Planning Commission and an advisor at the Ministry of Planning. Our chairperson is a highly respected personality in the African region. Her name is most likely to come up in any meeting on vital statistics in the AU and UN family in Africa. She has been instrumental in developing various regional initiatives on improving civil registration and vital statistics systems in Africa. She has also contributed to many Africa-wide statistical capacity development initiatives, including the Africa Symposium for Statistical Development and the Africa Program for Accelerated Improvement in Civil Registration and Vital Statistics. I've had the privilege of being trained by her and other senior experts in Africa as part of a pool of regional experts in civil registration and statistics. I subsequently worked with her and other stakeholders on conducting a comprehensive assessment of Ghana's civil registration and vital statistics system. Under her leadership, Ghana developed a national CRVS strategic plan to guide the implementation of activities on civil registration and vital statistics in the country. She has served on many institutional boards and national committees. She was the chair of the board of the Ghana Statistical Service and oversaw the implementation of our recently ended e-census, a first in the African region. She has made immense contributions to our national development, and she was duly recognized and awarded the President's Award of the Order of the Volta for Public Service in 2008. At this point, I would like to reiterate that our chairperson is a proud alumnus of RIPS, and I hope you agree with me that we could not have selected a more appropriate person to chair this function. Without further ado, please help me welcome our chairperson, Dr. Grace Bediako. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Daki. Good afternoon, everyone. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, Madam Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nana Abba, UNFPA Representative Mr. Niyi Ojuolape, Pro-Vice Chancellors and Provosts, Acting Director of the Regional Institute of Population Studies, Professor Ayaga Bao, Presidential Advisor on the SDGs, Dr. Eugene Owusu, faculty members of the university, representatives of the development partners, directors and representatives of the ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, Paddy Lehodla, former Statistician General of South Africa and a long-time colleague and alumnus of RIPS. RIPS alumni here present and those joining us from around the world, learners from selected senior high schools, university students, religious leaders, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I first wish to thank the Vice Chancellor, the Provost of the College of Humanities, and the Acting Director and Management of RIPS for conferring on me such an honor to chair this memorable occasion in the life of this great institution, the Regional Institute of Population Studies. 50 years in the life of an institution is not a mean feat. Some do not get this far, while some of those that do have little to rejoice over. But RIPS has had a lot to be thankful for today. And in this year, that has been earmarked for the 50th anniversary celebrations, guided by a very apt theme, 50 years of shaping local and global population issues towards sustainable development. We, the alumni of RIPS, and also the University of Ghana as a whole, share in the joy of those who have worked tirelessly to uplift the name of the Institute these 5 decades. Thanks to all the faculty and staff who ever worked at RIPS, we can proudly celebrate the achievements over these years. RIPS alumni assume a wide range of occupations and hierarchy of positions in their respective countries and around the world. Unfortunately, these records have not been systematically compiled and therefore remain sketchy. It is hoped that one of the major outcomes of the celebrations will be the documentation of the achievements of each individual alumnus and alumna in this regard. It is often easy at such events to think them as ordinary, like any other, no different from the ones we have attended before, and many more we will be attending after. But this is not the case with RIPS. The road of this 50-year journey has not been smooth, has not been all that smooth. As it has shared its history with that of Ghana, the Institute has distinguished itself, emerging much stronger and more resilient from having its very existence threatened from time to time by changes in regimes, economic and political instability, and financial constraints from the evolving institutional arrangements. I recall that there were times when its very survival was in question. RIPS has come a long way and has so much to boast of. We will learn of some today and invite you to dig deeper to learn more about this most remarkable institution. It is our fervent hope that the events planned for the year as part of the celebrations will project the name of RIPS far and wide and usher in another 50 years of vibrancy and good success to this noble institution. I thank you and wish us all good deliberations this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Grace Bediako, for that insightful speech. Please, let's give her a round of applause again. Thank you very much once again. I would like to, before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Provost of College of Health Sciences, Professor Julius Frobel. Thank you, Prof, for joining us. And also acknowledge the presence of the Acting Director of the Regional Institute for Population Studies, Professor Ayaga Bawa. And I'm informed that there are a number of deans, directors here. So I would like all deans present to just give us a wave. There are a number of them here. Deans of the University of Ghana, thank you so much for gracing this occasion. And also directors of institute centers, heads of department. If you are here, please give us a wave. I see a few here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There are so many of you. So we are unable to mention all the names, but we are really grateful for your presence here today. And then also current and former faculty of RIPS. Former faculty and RIPS. Where are they? Sorry. Okay, they are here. The RIPS group is here. Okay, all right. So I will now invite the Acting Director of the Regional Institute for Population Studies, Professor Ayagabar, to officially tell us the reason we are gathered here this afternoon. Prof, please.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and then Chairperson, who also doubles as Chair of the 50th Anniversary Committee, Dr. Grace Bediako, Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nana Abba Amfo, Chairpersons of the 50th Anniversary Planning Committee, permit me to ride on the courtesies already extended by the Chair. All protocols observed. Your Excellency, Madam Chairperson, 50 years ago this year, RIPS was established as a regional center of excellence for the training of population scientists for Anglophone Africa. This followed an agreement signed between the United Nations and the government of Ghana, representing member states of Anglophone Africa. The institute initially started with a postgraduate diploma training program in population studies, but progressively scaling up to now offering MA, MPhil, and PhD programs. Since then, the institute has trained close to 500 graduates across Anglophone Africa, many of whom are working in academia, government agencies, as well as international organizations here and abroad. Some of the initial graduates from RIPS subsequently went on to set up population training programs in their respective countries, giving birth to what I will call grandchildren of RIPS and the array of development gains that have been made over the years. Madam Chair, we are gathered here this afternoon to officially launch the Golden Jubilee Anniversary celebrations of this great institute. As it's often said, 50 years in the life of a person, in this case an institute, is a prime age, and that's worth celebrating. I'm therefore thrilled that we have very important dignitaries with us this afternoon, including the Vice President of our dear country, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, to grace this august occasion in the history of the Institute, the University of Ghana, and Ghana as a whole. Being part of this history is significant because population issues, particularly the number and quality of human resources we churn, are the major cornerstones of development, and RIPS has been a major driver. Yet little is known to many people about this institute's contribution. Hence, you are witnessing today the presence of senior high schools, people from local communities, industry and private sector, civil society, as well as international development community, as a demonstration of our outreach and extension activities which have impacted development in many ways. Quite clearly then, the celebration is an opportunity for all and sundry to realize the importance of the launch of the 50 years of RIPS existence in Ghana and its service to the rest of Africa and beyond. Therefore, Madam Chair, permit me to add that while we are celebrating the past 50 years of our existence as an institute, we are already looking ahead to the next 50 years with the accompanying 4 key goals. 1, consolidate the RIPS Endowment Fund, which we established to support the growth of the institute. 2, establish what we have termed the population house to serve as a permanent home for the institute. 3, develop and employ cutting-edge technology-driven educational platforms to improve delivery of educational content. And 4, expand and tailor our academic programs to meet the needs of industry and employees who are unable to take time off their work schedules for full-time studies. We are looking forward to our alumni, stakeholders, and the International Development Committee to be part of our mission to achieve these goals, financially, in kind, or otherwise. On our part, we have established RIPS Endowment Fund as a demonstration of looking within for resource generation and mobilization to support us in our pursuit of our set goals. We have rolled out a year-long program of activities as part of the celebration, which are of immense development significance, not only for Ghana, but also for the international community to learn from. We are happy to discuss the implementation of the activities with interested parties, which include organizing a forum on the 2021 Population and Housing Census of Ghana in the context of our team on sustainable development, which the UNFPA country office has committed to support. Madam Chair, before I take my seat, I would like to pay tribute to past directors of this great institute who have championed the great works that we are celebrating today. The late Professor Chukwuka Okonjo, who sadly passed into eternity 2 years ago, was a pioneering director and ran the institute for close to 15 years. Professor Patrick Ohadike, Professor Israel Simbaje, Professor Emmanuel Okantawiya, who is seated here with us today. He is on retirement, but he has made time to come here. Prof, you are welcome. Professor Francis Ni Amu Dodu, also the immediate past Pro-Vice Chancellor Orate. Professor Samuel Adekujo, who is here with us today as well. And Professor Joseph Yaro, who is also seated here in the front seat. I wish to thank all of you for the illustrious service that you provided this institute and continue to do so. In addition, I would like to recognize current and past faculty and staff, students and alumni who have contributed to the gains we are celebrating today. Permit me to make special mention of Dr. Pali Lahotla, a former Statistician General of South Africa who flew in 2 days ago to participate in the launch. Pali, you are welcome. We very much appreciate your presence here. Dr. Grace Bediako, Board Chair of the Ghana Statistical Service and former government statistician, who is also chairing the function today. Dr. Bediako, we are grateful to you. I would also like to recognize Professor Francis Ray, Director General of the Liberian Institute for Statistics and Geoinformatics, an alumnus who has sent 4 of his staff this year to RIPS to be trained. And those 4 staff are currently here with us. Dr. Albina Chiwa, the Director, the Statistician General, Tanzania Bureau of Statistics, former government statistician, Dr. Philomena Nyako, and our own colleague and faculty member, Dr. Faustina Frempong Ayingwa, who is currently the Deputy Government Statistician, and all other alumni who are occupying important positions throughout Africa and beyond. Finally, a big thank you to the Planning Committee and all its subcommittees for making us see the reality of this day. Thank you as I look forward to the kind participation of all present in the rest of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Ayagabawa, Acting Director, Regional Institute for Population Studies. The host for today's function and the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, let me add the first female Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, the premier and largest university, will now officially welcome us. Prof. Nanaba Apia Amfo. Please, let's welcome her as she does that.
Your Excellency, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Madam Chairperson, former Statistician General, Republic of South Africa, Dr. Pali Lahotla, members of senior management present, current and former directors of RIPS, deans, directors, heads of departments, members of the diplomatic corps, development industry and private sector partners, representatives of faith-based organizations, faculty and staff, alumni and students, the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon. Thank you. Madam Chairperson, I have the singular honor and pleasure to welcome you all to the University of Ghana for the launch of the Golden Jubilee of the Regional Institute for Population Studies, RIPS, which is the premier institute for the training of population scientists in Anglophone Africa. This official launch marks the beginning of a year-long planned program of activities to commemorate their anniversary celebrations. Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for accepting to perform the launch. We are grateful. Madam Chairperson, Madam Chairperson, 50 years ago, RIPS was birthed at the University of Ghana following an agreement between the United Nations and the government of Ghana. The institute was semi-autonomous from its inception until 1999, when it became a fully fledged unit of the university. As a flagship institute of the university, RIPS, which has the mandate of training population scientists, has attracted students from all English-speaking countries in Africa. At the time of its establishment, RIPS was one of only 2 such institutes in the whole of Africa, with the other Institute for Demographic Training and Research located in Yaoundé, Cameroon. With a regional mandate for training students from Anglophone Africa, RIPS soon became the preferred choice for demographic training on the African continent. Madam Chairperson, Your Excellency, although the Institute is no longer under the aegis of the UN, it has successfully maintained its original character as a regional center of excellence, attracting students from other parts of the continent. At the last check, I was informed that the Institute had trained close to 1,500 students across the continent, many of whom now serve in influential positions in their respective countries, while others work with regional and international bodies such as the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, United Nations Population Division, among others. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the chairperson for today's launch, Dr. Grace Bebiakon, as we have heard, is also the chair of the 50th Anniversary Planning Committee, the board chair of the Ghana Statistical Service, a former government statistician of this republic, and she also worked at the UN Statistics Division, is herself an alumna. You also heard that Dr. Pali Lehola, the immediate past statistician general of the Republic of South Africa, who is with us here this afternoon, we are extremely grateful for his presence, is also a proud product of RIPS. Such is the pedigree of people RIPS has produced. Madam Chairperson, RIPS does not only train students, but also conducts research. Faculty researchers and students of RIPS are engaged in cutting-edge research that is contributing to national and international policy discourse. The faculty also provide technical assistance and support to national institutes such as the Ghana Statistical Service, Ghana Health Service, National Population Council, Births and Deaths Registry, among others. International organizations such as the United Nations Population Fund, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, and United States Agency for International Development often engage the services of faculty members to provide technical support for their programs. Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, 50 years of existence of an institution represents a significant milestone worthy of celebration, especially considering the contributions and impact RIPS has made over these years. Congratulations to RIPS. I think the institute deserves a round of applause. Thank you. A number of activities have been planned to commemorate the Golden Jubilee of this institute, and it will be communicated to you in due course. So on this note, I'm happy to host this lunch, and I once again welcome you all to the University of Ghana. Enjoy the lunch and the programs thereafter. Enjoy our beautiful campus too. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Prof, for welcoming us. Please let's give Prof another round of applause again. Thank you. So, as noted by our host, RIPS has trained a number of students over the last 50 years. And again, as rightly mentioned, most of the institute's products are currently serving or have served in middle to high level positions in government and international organizations. One of such, as has been mentioned already, is the former Statistician General of the Republic of South Africa, Dr. Pali Lehokla. I'll now invite Dr. Pali Lehokla, who graduated from RIPS in 1981, 41 years ago, and loves to be known as the Chief of Mamprobi, for a eulogy. Please let's welcome him. Please, we can do better as he walks up, please.
That's it. Chair of the proceedings and chair of RIPS Golden Jubilee Organizing Committee, Madam Four, Grace Bediako. Permit me to bring greetings from South Africa to the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nana Aba Apia Amfo, and to Madam Fo Ayaga Bawa. And in the interest of time, I steal from your greetings, Chair, and say I have observed all protocols. I feel very much like Jonah in the Bible, and like Malvolio in the 12th night. I'm burdened by the trust that my 1,500 colleagues conferred on me of representing them truthfully on this monumental occasion. Some of the alumni have departed from this world. I'm terrified, therefore, by their ominous watching spirit. Others are retired, and the number still very active and in this hall and others on the platform. My trepidation as I stand before you is that in 2012, Professor Kuju, then Director of RIPS, invited me to be a recipient of an award of the University of Ghana when RIPS turned 40 years. But like Jonah in the Bible refused God's calling, I pledged reasons beyond my control and could not heed Professor Kuju's call. In 2015, he burdened himself with delivering the award to me at the UGBS conference held in South Africa. I said I feel like Malvolio in Shakespeare's 12th Night when he thought fortune came his way, and in confessing to Olivia about categories of greatness, Malvolio argued that some are born great, others achieve greatness, and yet others have greatness thrust upon them. To have greatness coming my way in the form of representing 1,500 alumni of RIPS, mindful of the saying that fortune favors fools, I have to ask what form of greatness this is. Or am I paying for my sins of not coming to Ghana in 2012? Am I now like Jonah? Have I been thrown out of the boat of fishermen, swallowed by fish, and spit out at Labadi Beach, and now forced to answer the call? The founding director of RIPS, the late Professor Chukwuka Okonjo, the OB of Ogwashi Oku Delta State in Nigeria, and the brigadier of the Biafra War helped me to answer these questions. He had royal blood, and he was naturally born great. but in relation to his academic prowess and role at RIPS amongst others, it was his father who defined him by saying, "Go and study further, my son, so that you become a great man." Professor Okonjo said the DNA of RIPS on the basis of his father's words. RIPS therefore produced great women and great men. Before you, Vice President, you have the alumni who have served and continue to serve their countries, notably in statistics offices, in academia and at the UN, where my sister Grace served. In large measure, the development of the population studies program at universities in South Africa was made possible through the contribution of professionals from RIPS, including in my own office that I led for 17 years. The theme of RIPS Jubilee is 50 years of shaping local and global population issues towards sustainable development. The question, therefore, is, given what RIPS has achieved in the past 50 years, what should it do in the next 50 years? Perhaps I have to talk about Ghana, because some of us moved and traveled the breadth and length of Ghana. By accident, I became Jonah and the fisherman. By accident, I acquainted myself to the fisherman village of Mamprobi and became a patron of a watering hole called Extra O in Mamprobi. 27 years later, we hosted the third African Symposium for Statistical Development in Africa here in Accra, and I had the occasion to try and visit my watering hole in Mamprobi. But alas, Extra O was now a kindergarten. I then visited Mamprobi in 2019, and I was equally surprised. It was now a high school enrolling 500 students. Yesterday, when I visited Extra O High School, I realized that it has reintroduced both the kindergarten and continues with the high school. Perhaps as we think about the next 50 years of RIPS, we should take a leaf out of the 86-year-old Mrs. Oye Helen Bruce, the matriarch who transformed her calling from a watering hole to a liberator of humanity through education. When I met her yesterday at Extra O, I asked her, what is her message to you, Mr. Vice President? She said, a caring leadership transformed is my message to the Vice President. She affirmed that the greatness of RIPS is one that is achieved and not one thrust upon one or one that is born with. In the next 50 years, the alumni of RIPS should set the path towards achieving these great heights. Great heights achieved by men were not by sudden flight, but while their companions slept, they were toiling throughout the night. This is what Mrs. Bruce has proven to us by Extra O. What I quoted is from Wordsworth, Longfellow Wordsworth. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Madam Vice Chancellor, Madam Chair, and my brother Ayaga, and my colleagues at RIPS, I hope I have delivered the message about RIPS, both in terms of the academic achievements and our escapades in the streets of Accra and Mamprobi. I thank you very much.
You have indeed delivered the message very well. Please let's give him another round of applause. Dr. Pali Lahokla, an alumnus of RIPS. At this point, we'll take goodwill messages, and first I'll call on Mr. Nii Ujwalakwe, the resident representative in Ghana of the United Nations Population Fund. Please let's welcome him.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, Madam Chairperson, the Vice Chancellor, University of Ghana, the Director, Regional Institute for Population Studies, and to complete the eye table, the former Secretary General of South Africa, distinguished guests, and given the fact that I have the good fortune of having many people come here who have actually done justice to the protocol, I'm going to request your kind indulgence for me to stand on the existing protocols. And then, ladies and gentlemen, UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund, which I represent in this country, is excited to be part of the launch of the Golden Jubilee celebration of the Regional Institute for Population Studies, with which UNFPA has an excellent working relationship since its establishment in 1972. It has given me so much pleasure hearing the name of UNFPA mentioned again and again this afternoon here. And on behalf of UNFPA, I wish to congratulate RIPS for attaining the landmark milestone of 50 years. And I wish the Institute many more years of dedicated service to humanity. It has been 50 years of training population and development experts, research and data generation in the Africa region. And we are indeed proud of the Institute. We are proud of its managers. We are proud of the university at large for the impact that it has made in policy, in human capacity, and influencing development strategically in the Africa region and beyond. The theme for the anniversary is 50 years of shaping local and global population issues towards sustainable development. And that theme ties with the mission of UNFPA, which is to deliver a world where every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth is safe, and every young person's potential is fulfilled. And with the name RIPS, there is also an overlapping mark there about population. So we're actually together. The government of Ghana and UNFPA, in the course of our work together, in the course of our partnership, we're actually at this point bringing to an end what we call the 7th country program of UNFPA in Ghana, which is from 2018 to 2022, to be ending in December this year. And thereafter, we are presently in consultation with government and CSOs and partners, generally all stakeholders, for developing the next country program, which is 2023 to 2027. The document will guide UNFPA's work in the country for the next 5 years, and consultations are still going on with key stakeholders. The final document will be submitted to the UNFPA Executive Board in September 2022. And there has been a lot of conversation concerning what we should actually be doing in the country. Over time, we have had to move a lot from heavy population and demography to issues of women's health, maternal health, maternal mortality, issues of sexual and gender-based violence. And currently, we are in the process whereby we're going to be deciding what we're going to be doing in terms of population and development. I can assure you, Prof, that there is a heavy dose of population and development in what we're going to be doing for the next 5 years. It's a good place to clap on you. Your Excellency, our relationship with RIPS dates back to 1972, exactly 50 years ago, upon the recommendation of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. This agreement was in response to the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 2211 in 1966, which calls for the establishment of population training centers in Africa to train the middle-level manpower to support the implementation of population programs towards achieving sustainable development. And since then, we have never looked back. UNFPA has supported hundreds of staff of government institutions to be trained at RIPS. And as we launch the Golden Jubilee celebration, I'm proud to say that apart from the many RIPS products that UNFPA has hosted, we currently have 3 of our staff in UNFPA Ghana who are products of RIPS. So we have been together. And Ghana's population age structure revealed a youth bulge And this suggests that more young people are transiting into the working age population, opening the demographic dividend window for Ghana. And UNFPA has been working with government with technical support from RIPS on relevant policies and programs to systematically harness the dividend that the population presents. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, UNFPA has been supporting the Ghana Statistical Service to produce quality disaggregated data to inform policy formulation and tracking government and international development goals. In the recent population and housing census of 2021, we are proud also to say that we have supported the government right from the preparatory stage to the data collection stage and to the present stage whereby we are putting thematic issues together. For the first time in Ghana, and for the first time also in Africa, we had the first digital census in Africa, and electronic tablets were used to collect the data as recommended by the United Nations. Notably also, UNFPA in conjunction with Ghana Statistical Service, we put together and deployed a monitoring process, a group of monitors, international monitors, to work with the Ghana Statistical Service to ensure that the population and housing process is a credible one. And I'm very, very proud to say that that process has gone very well. It has been accepted by the international community. The use of the tablets and the dependent monitors have earned Ghana international recognition. And now Ghana is a role model for other countries in the conduct of population and housing census. As we speak, we have received requests from several countries in Africa for replication of that process. And I dare name that Cote d'Ivoire just had their census about 2 months ago. They came to Ghana to call on us to help them to support in the way in which we have done the independent monitoring, and we oblige them. Also, we have requests from Mali, and we also have requests from Liberia as we speak for the tablets that we used in Ghana. Right now, as we speak, in another couple of days, we are actually shipping 17,000 tablets. Due to the benevolence of the Ghanaian government to Liberia for them to help them in their census, and I think we are very, very proud to be associated with that. Also, Nigeria has come to ask for the support of Ghana. This for me is a very, very important point, because they've asked for the support of Ghana, and right now we have actually had to deploy our chief technical advisor on census to Nigeria to begin to support them. And I remembered warning him when he was leaving that when you go there, please make sure that you reflect in your diction when you are going to pronounce W-O-R-K. Don't use work, use Ghanaian work. Your Excellency, the Vice President, I'm happy to inform you that based on the strategy to deploy those independent monitors, we in Ghana, UNFPA Ghana has won a Global Innovation for Impact Award in 2021 among all the countries in global UNFPA. And as I conclude, I'm also happy to say that RIPS has requested that we co-host this one-year celebration with RIPS. It started with a request for co-hosting, but then eventually it has come to partnering. And it has been my great pleasure. I've received all the approvals that we should join RIPS in partnering in this year-long celebration of the Golden Jubilee. So mine is a goodwill message. UNFPA Ghana will continue to collaborate with RIPS to train experts in population and development issues and to research for Africa and Ghana in particular. Once more, I wish to congratulate RIPS for 50 years of service to humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ojwalakpe. And it's very heartwarming to know that UNFPA will be partnering with RIPS for this year-long anniversary. Please, let's put our hands together for him again. The last goodwill message will be from Dr. Eugene Owusu, who is the Presidential Advisor on the Sustainable Development Goals. Please, let's welcome him.
Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, the Chairperson of the 50th Anniversary Planning Committee, the Vice Chancellor of this distinguished university, the University of Ghana, the Acting Director of RIPS, my good friend, the Country Representative of the UN Population Fund, the former Statistician General of the Republic of South Africa, who I had a pleasure of meeting just before this congregation and had a lovely conversation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I deem it a great honor and an extraordinary privilege to have this opportunity to present this goodwill message on behalf of the SDGs Advisory Unit in the Office of the President. As abundantly underscored by many of the previous distinguished speakers, 50 years in the life of any organization is an important milestone and one that is worth celebrating with great gusto. From humble beginnings, the Regional Institute of Population Studies at this great university has blossomed to become a world-class institution that has produced outstanding graduates who have become thought leaders on population and development issues across the continent of Africa. The SDGs Advisory Unit in the Office of the President joins all of you in celebrating the incredible work that this institute has done and the successes that this institute has chalked, from cutting-edge research, from countless world-class training and workshops administered, to life-changing scholarships offered, the transformational strategic partnerships that this institute has established with local, national, and international organizations, and as we heard earlier, for training close to 1,500 social scientists and policymakers who hold senior positions in governments and several international organizations across the globe. I should say that in my previous life as a senior leader at the United Nations, I had the privilege of working with many of the graduates from this prestigious institute. And as with this institute whose 50th anniversary we are celebrating, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt that most of the graduates that I worked of this institute that I worked with were extremely competent and were indeed top-notch professionals. The success that this institute has achieved is not by accident. It is the result of the stellar work, your ingenuity, your creativity, and your commitment over the past decades to the cause of Ghana, this institute's host country, and indeed to the entire African continent. Your research findings and your policy products have influenced discourse on topical issues and shaped policy decisions. This is highly commendable. Excellency the Vice President of the Republic, friends, population growth and the Sustainable Development Goals are inseparably interconnected. Positive, empowering population solutions are key to meeting the Sustainable Development Goals, whilst the SDGs offer a unique pathway and insight to address many of the challenges associated with population management. and the demographic explosion. Africa's population, as I believe many of us do know, in the 1970s was just over 360 million people. Today, our beloved continent's population is estimated at some 1.37 billion people. Despite the upsides of the high population, the rising population that we are witnessing now presents serious threats to the continent's security, to its environment, and indeed to its overall development prospects. In my view, failure to address these threats has the potential to exacerbate existing development challenges, including the relatively poor infrastructure that we do have on this continent, the suboptimal healthcare delivery and delivery systems, and the high unemployment, especially among the youth, all of which risk derailing prospects and progress on the Sustainable Development Goals. The question on the minds of many governments and development partners is how do we leverage the SDGs to address global population issues and vice versa. It is abundantly clear to me that if we are going to be successful in charting a sustainable pathway for our country and indeed for our continent, then breakthrough population solutions are going to be key. And institutions of excellence such as this institution, the Regional Institute of Population Studies, whose golden anniversary we are celebrating today, must be at the cutting edge of all our thought processes. Institutions such as RIPS must be at the heart of driving innovation for the accelerated implementation of the SDGs at the national, continental, and global levels. Friends, the SDGs Advisory Unit at the Office of the President is committed to joining hands with all of you, joining hands with the senior leadership of this institution and this great university to forge strong and beneficial partnerships in the population and development space that our country and our planet so dearly need. I urge you to keep being the shining example and a beacon of hope for other institutions to scale up their analytic and policy contributions to the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, as all of us strive to achieve the world that we want and leave no one behind. Happy 50th anniversary, and may you chalk greater successes in the next 50 years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Eugene Owusu. Please let's give him a round of applause again as he takes his seat. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Professor Peter Forte, who is the director of RIPS. Is the director of ISE. ISE and RIPS are actually neighbors, so thank you, Prof, for being here. And then also the presence of Professor Joseph Yaro, who is the principal of the Accra City campus and the immediate past director of RIPS. Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. So at this time, I think it's a good time to take a break. Don't you agree with me? Yes. So I would now invite the Ghana Dance Ensemble for an interlude, which will be immediately followed by a poem by pupils of the University of Ghana Basic School. Please let's give them a round of applause as they prepare to come. Please let's give them a round of applause again. I believe the pupils from the University of Ghana Basic School are ready. Great. So it's your turn now. So please let's welcome them. Or they are not yet ready. Okay. All right. So they will come a bit later. They are not ready at this point. So I'm pleased to now call on the chairperson for today's function, Dr. Grace Bediako, to introduce our special guest of honor. Please let's give her a round of applause as she comes here.
Permit me to dispense of the protocols and get straight to my assignment. It is an honor and yet a most challenging task indeed to have to introduce a well-known personality, His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, our special guest of honor. He's an economist and a banker and has occupied very significant positions internationally as well as nationally. He has been a lecturer, visiting scholar, advisor, and a deputy governor of Bank of Ghana. In his current position as the Vice President of the Republic, we have over the years come to know him as the pivotal person who is relentlessly championing Ghana's digitalization agenda and winning international recognition for it. Today, I wish to add a little known dimension to this appealing reputation. An advocate for data and the information age, and an avid data user, which is also well acknowledged globally through his insightful contributions to the Global Partnership for Sustainable Development Data, where he serves as one of the 17-member board of the directors and has been there since 2017. The Global Partnership for Sustainable Development Data with the United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed as the co-convener is a vibrant global network of nearly 300 partners collaborating to put the power of data behind delivering the Sustainable Development Goals. And they seek to do this by building a global movement and voice advocating on data for development, influencing and shaping global policies and frameworks on data, and getting data to where it is needed in the hands of decision makers and government. These represent what His Excellency committed himself to help the world achieve by serving on the board of the partnership. For his visionary ideas and selfless dedication to the global cause, he is one of the board members who have served to date. I am also aware that he's being considered for a much more elevated role in this august body. And we are proud that he has wholeheartedly made time to grace such an important milestone in the life of the Regional Institute for Population Studies, RIPS. I am sure you all agree with me that we could not have found a more suitable advocate as our special guest of honor for this momentous occasion. And we know that he will be with us for the year-long celebration. We thank you, Vice President, Your Excellency, for accepting this invitation. And we will call on.
Thank you, Dr. Bediako. So I'll now invite the students to perform to herald the speech of the Vice President. So, Your Excellency, the students of the basic school would perform and then you would have your time. Thank you very much.
Oh, creation, how great thou art. Your deeds are wonderful and beautiful. We, humans, are just one of your creation. Even as we continue to multiply, we allow other creations to support us. We are thankful for the Regional Institute for Population Studies, RIPS. RIPS, RIPS, RIPS. You are 50 years now, still mighty and glamorous.
You gave birth to many intellectual giants who are doing great things. You helped us understand how our human numbers mean to our lives. Our families are grateful. Our countries are thankful. Our leaders appreciate you. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
You are witness to the great race, the oak tree of population issues, an institute born for challenges and for opportunity. When the world was crying about food because of our numbers, RIPS was born. When the numbers of young people increased, RIPS says we are big assets in development.
When we needed to be counted even in times of COVID-19 pandemic, RIPS was there. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, RIPS says, welcome. RIPS says, Ayiko. RIPS says, your love for big data makes you one of her own. RIPS says, may you continue to shine. The great Dr. Digitalization, great honor and service to Ghana. RIPS invites you to speak.
Thank you very, very much. May we give them another round of applause. And please have a seat. Thank you very, very much. Madam Chairperson, Dr. Grace Bediako, Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nanaba Appiah-Amfo, Chairpersons of the Regional Institute for Population Studies 50th Anniversary Planning Committee, former Statistician General of South Africa, Dr. Pali Leholo, our Presidential Advisor for SDGs, Dr. Eugene Owusu, Pro-Vice Chancellors, Provosts, Acting Director of RIPS, Deans, Directors, Heads of Institutions, Faculty and staff, members of the Diplomatic Corps, development partners, industry and private sector, giants present, the media, traditional leaders, representatives of faith-based organizations, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm very honored to join you today at this ceremony, which marks the beginning of a series of activities and programs to commemorate the Golden Jubilee of the Regional Institute for Population Studies, RIPS, one of the few reputable institutions for population studies in Africa, hosted by the premier university of Ghana. "50 years in the life of any institution constitutes a significant milestone. These celebrations therefore give us opportunities for stock-taking, reflection, and recounting the impact of this institute on national, regional, and global development. Madam Chairperson, permit me to acknowledge the efforts of Vice Chancellors, Directors of the Institute, and all whose dedication have culminated in the attainment of the vision of this institute. It is worthy to mention the outstanding contribution of alumni of RIPS. On this note, I wish to acknowledge the presence of two distinguished alumni of the institute here today. Our own chairperson, the board chair of the Ghana Statistical Service, and former Government of Ghana statistician, Dr. Grace Bediako. I also want to acknowledge the former Statistician General of South Africa, Dr. Pali Lehola. We acknowledge them for the pivotal roles they have played in national and international development discourse. I believe there are many more such distinguished products of RIPS occupying influential positions across the globe, and I wish to congratulate the Institute for providing the requisite and rigorous training for such high caliber human resource. Madam Chairperson, it is not by chance that the United Nations led the establishment of RIPS as far back as the 1970s to take up the huge responsibility of ensuring that Anglophone Africa benefits from training in population issues. We cannot overemphasize the critical importance of population studies in ensuring that there is equitable distribution of wealth and resources, including goods and services. The period of the establishment of RIPS was characterized by unprecedented population growth challenges, such as the agricultural revolution, industrialization, human health and well-being in the context of available resources in future that would sustain lives on planet Earth. That period also saw publications such as The Population Bomb, written by Stanford University professor Paul Ehrlich and his wife Anne Ehrlich, which predicted potential worldwide famine in the 1970s and 80s as a result of overpopulation, as well as other major societal upheavals. They advocated immediate action to limit population growth. The tragedy of the commons, first posited in 1968 by American ecologist Garrett Hardin, described a situation where shared environmental resources are overused and overexploited, and eventually depleted, posing risks to everyone. The Limits to Growth, published in 1972, captured the world's attention with its thesis that unchanged population growth and resource consumption would dramatically worsen the conditions for humanity within 40 to 50 years. All the above publications that I've mentioned warned of the dire consequences of population growth if we did nothing. They also brought up issues of fertility and family planning to the fore. 50 years on after the establishment of RIPS, we are confronted with the COVID-19 pandemic that has had serious implications for population dynamics and sustainable development worldwide. While the specific developmental impact may vary across countries, the general effects on the elderly, the workforce, and the youth have been very consequential for planning. For example, talks about the demographic dividend continue to be pressing post-COVID-19, considering the large size of Africa's youthful population, for which we have social and moral responsibilities to address their needs in relation to education, job creation, shelter, and social inclusion. It is within these contexts that the establishment of RIPS becomes important in promoting responsible and healthy discussions on population issues that bring dignity to development through training, research, and outreach programs. Census data, which are driven largely by population issues, have become the bedrock of development globally, enable nations to focus their development amidst competition for scarce resources. Nations are able to make informed choices that are likely to yield the most returns and dividends to society for the enhancement of quality of life. The United Nations Global Development Agenda, such as the Sustainable Development Goals, the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, and the nationally determined contributions, have all strategically been woven around principles that are informed by population issues. These, among several others, have made training and research institutions on population as major partners for development across the public and private sectors globally. At the national level, the role of RIPS in contributing to the implementation of the National Population and Housing Census has been immense. In addition, the contributions of scientists at RIPS to the development of major national policies are noteworthy, one of which was the recent reappraisal of the Coordinated Program for Economic and Social Development Policies, which is the National Development Planning Framework for Ghana. I'm also aware of your efforts in many areas of population, health, environment, and development, working with metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies to implement intervention projects in poor communities along the coast of Accra. The extension of your support to COVID-19 adolescent returnee migrants in the Tamale metropolis is very profound and worthy of commendation. Madam Chairperson, without timely and reliable data on population, planning will be impossible. For Ghana, such data has informed government's specific policy directions and strategies, such as planting for food and jobs, implementation of the One Village, One Dam to ensure all year-round farming, and especially in northern Ghana. Talking about data, we've just had the first digital population census, as the UMPA, FPA country director and our chairperson mentioned. The 2020 census in that regard was a departure from how we have done it in the past. Going forward, we are trying to put in place systems that will give us more timely estimates and records of population in Ghana. When we came into office, one of the places we put our eyes on in the context of digitization was our births and deaths registry, because that is where you get census on data on births and deaths. Now, going into that institution, it was a very, very difficult situation. We realized that the births and deaths registry had 3 separate databases of births and deaths, and these were not linked together. And this was the reason why it was very easy for anybody to get a birth certificate telling you whichever date of birth you wanted, provided you paid the money that was being asked for. So you had these databases sitting in silos, and so we had to really accelerate the digitization program at the births and deaths registry. Thankfully, we have been able to do so, clean up the data and harmonize the 3 databases, and now we have just one database at the births and deaths registry. Going forward, we are linking the National Identification Authority database, the Ghana card. We are linking it with the Ghana Health Service, the Births and Deaths Registry, the Ghana Statistical Service, and the Ghana Police Service. And this is very important because all of these different institutions are very critical in data provision. And this is why the Ghana Statistical Service has agreed to release 13,000 tablets to the Ghana Health Service. And these tablets will track pregnant mothers from antenatal clinics until birth. So we will have data on pregnant mothers from antenatal clinics until birth. But what is important for what we are trying to do is that immediately the child is born, it will not take long. Of course, the data will be transmitted to the Births and Deaths Registry, so they will record it. To the NIA, they will record it, and the NIA would immediately issue a national identification number for the child. So we will have the NIA number, and this is what happens in all advanced economies. When you are born, they will issue your whether it's a social security number or a national insurance number, the equivalent. So we are now moving into Ghana, starting this year. I think Dr. Abuaji is here from Ghana Health Service. They are part of the team putting all of this together. So starting sometime this year, I think we are quite advanced, but they will announce the exact start date. But so we will have that linkage between the NIA, the Ghana Health Service, the Statistical Service, because that data is also needed by the Ghana Statistical Service, who has died, who has been born. And the police also record a lot of deaths on the road and so on, and this is why they are also linked into the system so that they can also report, so that we have comprehensive data. So we expect this system to be rolled out this year. I know they are far along, so that the Ghana card number will be the unique identifier. But what all this will mean is that at any time, if all of this data is available, at any time we will have a pretty good estimate of our population in Ghana. And this will therefore likely change the nature of the census in the future. Because once we know, say 2020, this is the record, and so far this year so many people have been born, this year so many people have died, then we know what the net numbers are, and we can know going forward. So this is a major new system that is coming, and we are thanking everybody who's working on it, but it will help Ghana going forward. There's no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, that RIPS has acquitted itself in delivering top-notch training comparable to what is offered in other world-class universities. No doubt. I am proud to be associated with RIPS, considering that the institute is also has a principal focus in the generation of credible data to inform national development. In conclusion, Madam Chair, permit me to highlight a few of government's agenda and how RIPS and its alumni in the University of Ghana as a whole could contribute in terms of human resource and evidence-based research. This is based on our vision of change agenda for jobs, creating prosperity and equal opportunity for all in 4 key areas: building a prosperous country, creating opportunities for all Ghanaians, safeguarding the natural environment and ensuring a resilient built environment, and maintaining a stable, united and safe country. Attaining these specific objectives will require strong scientific data informed by population models, including projections, in ensuring that our development is balanced and sustainable. Your planned high-level fora and activities will be of interest to government, and we will be ready to support and facilitate collaborations with international partners. While celebrating this glorious occasion with you, I entreat you to exercise modesty and employ technology as much as possible to ensure that the COVID-19 protocols are enforced. We are making good progress on COVID-19. This morning I looked at the data, and so far the total number of active cases have declined to 478. That is a major decline, 478. At the peak of this 4th wave, we were above 15,000. So we've come down from 15,000 to 478 as at this morning. So we are making some good progress, but let's not take it for granted, because the virus keeps transforming itself. So let us continue to observe the protocols. I urge you not to be complacent as you reflect on your achievements, but let it spur you on to continue to excel on your mandate as an institute to develop the critical mass of population scientists across the region and internationally. On this note, Madam Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, hearty congratulations to the RIPS, and I formally declare the year-long golden anniversary celebrations duly launched. I thank you for your attention. God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Please let's be upstanding again as His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic takes his seat. Shall we resume our seats, please? Another round of applause for His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana and special guest of honor for today's function. Your Excellency, thank you very much. Your Excellency, I would humbly ask you to do one more activity for us, which is the unveiling of the anniversary cloth. And while you do that, I would humbly ask our host, the Vice Chancellor, to support you, and then our chairperson for today's function, Dr. Grace Bediako, to do that. And as they do that, I would ask the university choir to just give us some soft music in the background as we will unveil the anniversary cloth. So the anniversary cloth is being unveiled. That's the anniversary cloth. That's wonderful. Let's give a round of applause. So University Choir, give us something. That's the 50th anniversary. Please, another round of applause again. That's the 50th anniversary cloth. It looks so lovely. It's a really nice design. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, host, Vice Chancellor. Thank you, Chairperson Dr. Grace Bediako. Please resume your seats. Another round of applause. I really like the design. It has everything to it. The University of Ghana feel, the colors, everything. So I would really encourage us when it's on sale. Everyone, even if you are not associated with RIPS in any way, I would encourage you to get a piece of the cloth. I believe for men, we don't need too much. 2 yards should be fine, right? Or more, depending on the design you want to wear. So I'd encourage all of us to purchase the cloth and to support the funds will support the year-long activities. It will be part of the fundraising. So I have the permission of the acting director to skip the auction of the anniversary cloth. But as I said, I would encourage, and Madam Chairperson, I have your permission as well. Thank you very much. But I would encourage us, like I said, if you visit the RIPS administration, you would have pieces to buy. And for those of you with families, it would be nice for your families to be donning the RIPS cloth throughout the year. So thank you very much, Your Excellency, our host and chairperson. Please let's give them another round of applause. It's been a fulfilling event so far, and we are about wrapping up. At this point, I'll invite the chairperson, Dr. Grace Bediako, to give her closing remarks. Please let's welcome her once again.
His Excellency the Vice President, Madam Vice Chancellor, it is with great satisfaction that I take the floor again, and this time to congratulate each and every one of us who in one way or other has contributed to the success of this event. Those who work tirelessly to bring this event about, those who have spent time here or online and attentively received the messages from our distinguished speakers, and especially our distinguished speakers, our special guest of honor and our host. We are most grateful to you all for your support. The various speeches and materials shared have given us some insight into RIPS' journey thus far. I have personally been encouraged by the visionary leadership at all the levels of the university, and which we know will continue and most definitely be amplified to bring RIPS to realize the goals and ideals on which it was founded. I won't give you the highlights, I'm sure we all took notes. So I end with an appeal. All of us, partakers of the program here and abroad, are now partners, ambassadors of the RIPS brand. We ask that you join hands with management and alumni to, one, publicize the year-long celebrations and make time to participate in them, and two, to spread the information about RIPS widely to attract students from Ghana, Africa, and beyond. There is a lot of information and up-to-date information on RIPS on the website about the celebrations. So link up, plug in, and play your part. Finally, success of the celebrations rests as much as on the planners and implementers of the program as it does on the alumni. So let's get involved. Above all, be sure to reach out to RIPS management and this is to the alumni, and get your contact included or updated. We are counting on you to reach all the 1,500 plus alumni, so that we can all be part of this 1 year celebration. We look forward to your continuous engagement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, for your closing remarks. Before we leave, there's a bit of a surprise. So I'll call upon our host, Vice Chancellor, Professor Nanaba Apia Amfo, to give the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, a plaque and the cloth, the anniversary cloth, to say thank you for gracing our occasion. So please, shall we be upstanding as the presentation of the plaque and the anniversary cloth is given to the Vice President. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much. And then that's the cloth, the wonderful, beautiful cloth, 50th anniversary cloth. So, please, that's it. Please, let's give a round of applause. Thank you very much. Next, another surprise. I would call on the acting director. Please kindly resume your seats. Thank you very much. I'll call on the acting director, Prof. Ayaga Bawa, to give our host, she's been a very nice, gracious host, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, also a gift. So she wasn't expecting it, but she also has a cloth, the anniversary cloth. Please, let's give her a round of applause. I think the photographers want to capture it very well. So that's the cloth. His Excellency gets the first, and our host gets the second piece. So we'll look forward to you donning the anniversary cloth for our next event. The last surprise is for the alumnus of RIPS, Dr. Pali. I would ask Professor Kujo, the past director of RIPS, to also give you your gift. Again, it is the anniversary cloth. So this is the special edition of the anniversary cloth, we can say. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Wow, Dr. Pali is actually unveiling it. Wow, that's nice. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause again, yes. Indeed, Dr. Pali is the chief of Mamprobi, as he likes to be called, the chief of Mamprobi. Okay, so a few more acknowledgements before I call the personality going to give us the vote of thanks. We have in our midst Professor Eric Dankwa, Director of the West African Center for Crop Improvement, WACI. Thank you very much. I also want to acknowledge the presence of all RIPS alumni. All RIPS alumni, please give us a wave. All RIPS alumni, thank you very much for making time for this event. I would also want to acknowledge the presence of all current RIPS students, masters and PhD students. Where are you? Quite a number of them here. Thank you very much. And also we have senior high schools, representatives from senior high schools here. They've done well. I'm sure they've learned a thing or two. We have first Accra Girls Secondary School. Give us a wave, Accra Girls. They didn't come. Okay. Achimota Secondary School. Yes. Thank you very much for making it. Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. Yes, Presec are also here. And then all RIPS collaborators and partners as well. Thank you for your presence and for making it. At this point, I would call on Mrs. Mavis Osafuedu, Assistant Registrar in charge of Protocol at the Directorate of Public Affairs, University of Ghana, to give us the vote of thanks. Thank you. Please welcome her.
Your Excellency, Vice President of the Republic, Honorable Chairperson, Madam Vice Chancellor, our valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I deem it a great privilege to be called upon to move the vote of thanks for this memorable occasion. To re-echo the words of almost all our previous speakers, you will all agree with me that 50 years in the life of every institution is no mean achievement, and RIPS at 50 is no exception. We give glory to God Almighty for the opportunity to witness this beautiful ceremony. Sincere thanks go to our able chairperson, Dr. Gribedi Akun, for effectively steering affairs to make this program such a success. Madam Chair, we are truly grateful. Thank you. Oh, please, I think we can do it better. Let's applaud our chairperson. Thank you. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic, for not only gracing the occasion with his distinguished presence, but also accepting to be the keynote speaker for the occasion. Your Excellency, we are truly grateful to you for this honor done us. Please, let's applaud him. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I also wish to express immense gratitude to our host, Professor Nanaba Apia Amfo, Vice Chancellor and Surya Komai, MC, the first female Vice Chancellor of the Premier University of Ghana, and all university officials here present for your generous support and kind patronage in making this program a success. Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this does not happen overnight. The wheels started rolling months ago, and I know what I'm talking about. Hearty congratulations to the chair, Madam Chair once again, and members of the Anniversary Planning Committee on the good job done. Your enormous cooperation, hard work, and dedication to duty in the organization of this event is highly commendable. Please, let's give it to them once again. Thank you. Where are the committee members? Shall we see you if some of you are around, apart from our madam? Thank you, committee members. Thank you very much. Profound thanks to our cherished alumni and current students, development partners, our sponsors, media partners, the clergy, and our dear Imam. Not forgetting our dear pupils from the University Basic School. Shall we applaud them? It was a beautiful performance. Thank you so much. And our students from other secondary or senior high schools for being present with us this afternoon. We appreciate the various roles you played in making this program a success. We haven't forgotten our University of Ghana Jubilee Choir and the Ghana Dance Ensemble. Thank you. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, distinguished chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I wish to place on record our immense appreciation to each and every one of you for taking time off your busy schedules to grace this memorable occasion with your presence. It's been a great pleasure having you. Thank you very much once again, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Osafu Edu, for thanking us. One quick announcement. Dr. Palila Hokla will deliver a lecture tomorrow at 10 a.m. The event is on Zoom, and the link is on the RIPS website, www.rips ugbedu.edu.gh, and the topic is From Bucharest to 2030, Agenda for Sustainable Development, Africa's Contribution. Very interesting one. I would encourage all of us to join if we can. I would now call on Imam Abubakar Baba of the Legon Central Mosque to give us the closing prayer. Please let's welcome him.
Having thanked ourselves, let us now go to the biggest of all the thanks. And this thanks goes to Allah, our Creator. We only thank Allah through our prayers. Let us put ourselves in the mood for the prayer. Let us remain seated, solemn, for God to answer our prayers. Bismillahi ahmaduhu wa astaghfiruhu wa astahdihi wa a'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Allahu akbar. Allahu akbar. Allahu akbar kabiran walhamdulillahi kathiran wa subhanallahi bukratan wa asila. There is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a servant and messenger of Allah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar walillahi alhamd. Praise be to you, O Allah. When obeyed, you respond with thanks. And when disobeyed, you respond with forgiveness. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. We call unto you to respond to this prayer. For you have asked of us in your holy book, the Quran, Id'uni astajib lakum. Call unto me, my servants, and I'll respond to your call. And you said to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, again in the Holy Quran, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ الدَّعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. When my servants ask you, O Muhammad, about me, tell them that I am very close to them. I am ready to respond to their prayer whenever they call unto me. Ya Allah, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman. We are embarked upon a mission in the Regional Institute of Population Studies. Without the strength and without the resources required for this work, or to fulfill this momentous responsibility, we were weak in every way. We were in need of support and resources. You have called unto us to come, and you will help and guide us. We pray and thank you for your blessings, graces, and mercies all these years. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Bless us and bless our families and those who come forward to support and help us and work with us. Shower upon us your blessings, our Creator. Bless us with all the good health. Grant us the wealth and resources we need for this service. Grant us complete safety and security in our bodies, in our homes, in our communities, and in our places of work. Ya Allah, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman. We pray and call unto you to grace this 50th anniversary of RIPS. We thank you and ask you for more of such blessings. For you have said in the Quran, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. When I grant you my favors and you appreciate and thank me, I will add you more. We thank you and appreciate you for what you have given us. And we are asking you for more. Oh Allah, our Lord, obtain for us peace in our hearts. Obtain for us peace in this institute. Obtain for us peace in this university. And obtain for us peace in this nation, Ghana. And assist us in all our actions. We call on to you to defend us in all our dangers and ask you for peace in Ghana and tranquility among Ghanaians. O most compassionate Allah, the giver of all benefits. You are our Lord. You are the Lord of the weak. And you are our Lord. O Allah, support our leaders with truth and success. The leaders of this anniversary and institute. The leaders of this university. The leaders of this country. Guide them to do what you love. Guide them to do what will please you. Lead them to righteousness. Lead them to success. And lead them to prosperity. Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd. Allahumma hadina fi man hadit. Wa afina fi man afayt. Wa tawallana fi man tawallayt. Wa barik lana fi ma a'tayt. Wa qina wasrif anna sharra ma qadayt. Innaka taqdi wa la yuqda alayk. Innahu la yadhillu man walayta wa la yu'izzu man adayt. Tabarakta rabbana wa ta'alayt. لك الحمد على ما قضيت ولك الشكر على ما أعطيت. نستغفرك ونتوب إليك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. آمين.
Amen. Thank you very much, Imam Abubakar Baba. Please let's give him a round of applause. So, the University of Ghana Jubilee Choir will now give us the university anthem. Your Excellency, Vice Chancellor, Honorable Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, shall we be upstanding for the university anthem? Thank you very much, University of Ghana Jubilee Choir. Shall we remain seated as the Vice President and his entourage, the host, Vice Chancellor, the Chairperson, and all the dignitaries would go outside and take a photograph before the Vice President and his entourage leaves. Please stand as they leave. Shall we stand as the Vice President, his entourage, and the dignitaries leave the auditorium?